What's up, dude? Hello everybody, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Let's see, so today is it's actually Wednesday when I'm filming this. Let me know how you guys feel about me having my lights being a different color behind me. I kind of thought that would be sort of fun to do. So today is Wednesday and this video is going up on Thursday. I'm pre-recording just a little bit because I have stuff going on tomorrow and I want to make sure that I have a true crime video going out. I don't have anything new to report on, so I think that we will jump into today's case just right off the bat. So today we are going to be talking about Zephany Nurse. Zephany Nurse was born to Celeste Nurse on April 28th, 1997 in Cape Town, South Africa at the Groote Schuur Hospital. Celeste claimed that someone in a nurse's uniform was comforting her while Zephany was in the cot nearby before falling asleep. When she woke up, a nurse was there who kept asking her where her baby was. This is when Celeste realized that Zephany was taken. The hospital called the police to help search, and all that they found was Zephany's baby blanket, a baby garment, and a handbag with no identifiable items, unfortunately. A pillow was found in a tunnel that was intended to provide direct access to the women in labor to the ward from the street. The tunnel also gave access to the old main building psychiatric department and outpatient section, which at the time had unrestricted access. The police were under the impression that whoever took Zephany used the pillow to make it look like they were pregnant because no one would question a woman walking around pregnant in a maternity ward. So honestly, it's kind of smart if you think about it. Then they suspect that the woman had dressed up as a nurse in maroon pants and an oatmeal top to try to make friends with mothers in the ward. One of the mothers in the ward remembered her face and had even briefly spoken to her. The same woman said that she found the nurse holding her baby, and when she asked what she was doing, she said that baby had been crying and she was trying to comfort it. 5 days after Zephany was born, the nurse family, so their last name is Nurse and we're talking about nurses, so it gets kind of confusing. But the nurse family went home without their daughter. Every year, the family would celebrate Zephany's birthday. This was their attempt at keeping the story in the media in hopes that the search would keep going if they could make the public interested in the story, which really isn't a bad idea because a lot of victims' families sort of want people to talk about their stories on their true crime podcasts or videos just to kind of drum up some more interest in hopes that police will maybe, if they're lucky, reopen their cases due to public interest. Celeste gave a number of interviews and offered support to other families who also experienced kidnappings, which is honestly pretty amazing that she was able to do that considering, I'm sure, the emotional state that it put her in when she went to offer support to these families. The family was given hope at finding Zephany when a woman was investigated by the police when her neighbors called her in because she had a baby, but they never noticed her pregnant. However, the baby was a boy, so that went nowhere. Another time, after almost 12 years of no news, in July of 2009, the nurse family got a phone call where a woman whispered, "I know about your daughter," and asked for $500,000 South African Rand, which is approximately $70,000 in US money, in 2009, to be delivered at a prearranged place. The police were contacted and monitored the drop-off, but no one arrived to collect the money. The call was traced to Glenda Dubell, a neighbor of Celeste's mom's, who was charged with extortion and given 3 years house arrest and a 5,000 Rand fine and 600 hours of community service. I think it's great that they took it that seriously, honestly, because stuff like that's not funny. So not only were they robbing this poor grieving family, but they also gave them false hope. Like, that's just not cool. Celeste's second daughter, Cassidy, started at a new school where coincidentally, Michi, as she was now called, was also attending. So now I'm going to refer to Zephany as Michi. She was now 17 years old and going by the name Michi Solomon. Friends of Michi commented on the uncanny resemblance between her and Cassidy, even though they're 4 years apart. Now, I've also heard that they were 3 years apart, so sources are kind of differing on that one, but somewhere in that range. The girls became very fast friends after getting acquainted. Michi said, "I almost felt like I knew her. It was so scary. I couldn't understand why I was feeling like this. When people would ask Michi or Cassidy if they were sisters, they'd joke saying, 'We don't know, maybe in another life,' which is crazy." The two girls took a selfie together as teenage girls do, and when When Michi showed her mother, she commented on how similar the girls looked. Cassidy's parents wanted her to find out when Michi's birthday was. When Michi confirmed that yes, she was born on April 28th, 1997, she was called into the headmaster's office at school. There were 2 social workers in the office as well waiting for her. They informed her about the missing case of Zephany, nurse. After hearing the social workers out, Michi told them that she had been born at the retreat hospital that was, I think they said 20 miles away from the other hospital that she was actually born at. That's what was on her birth certificate. They told her that there was no record of her being born there. Police began investigating, and after Zephany's parents couldn't prove her birth, DNA tests were conducted. The tests were conclusive that Zephany was the nurse's child. She was removed from her then home and put in a safe place by the Department of Social Services, so I'm thinking kind of like a foster family type situation. The nurse family was allowed visitations, though, when she had been moved. In March of 2016, a woman was convicted of the abduction, but she wasn't named for legal reasons because Michi was still a minor at the time, and they didn't want to out her identity as well. She got a 10-year prison sentence in August 2016, only 5 months after her conviction. Zephany Nurse's name was kept a secret for 5 years. However, she applied for the ban restricting the publication of her real name to her, Michi Solomon, to be lifted. This was granted by the High Court in Pretoria on August 13th, 2019. Hours after the ban was lifted, she announced that her book titled Zephany, 2 Mothers, 1 Daughter, An Astonishing True Story would hit shelves. She was going by Michi Solomon after the court ruling, and she dedicated the book to both of her mothers. Her kidnapper was identified as Lavana Solomon. Michi says, "She knows that I forgive her and she knows that I still love her," in reference to Lavana. When she turned 18, she considered moving in with her biological parents, but they were divorced by then and she decided against it, feeling like that family unit had been messed up. Michi does feel like she has struggled to form a relationship with her biological family and has said that at times she has even hated them for taking her mother away from her. Today, she has 2 kids of her own, but she still visits Lavana in prison in Worcester. So I do kind of understand where she's coming from, that this woman had raised her and she loved her, thinking that she was her mother, and you can't just turn those feelings off. It's gotta be super confusing knowing that they took you from your real family, but also to you, they are your real family. I thought that this was really interesting. From what I've researched, it does sound like she is still close to Lavana's husband as well, but other than that, that's about the gist of the information on this case. I don't know if you guys like kidnapping videos or if you like serial killer type videos. Leave a comment in the description box down below. I'm trying to kind of figure out what genre of true crime you guys would like me to cover. This one I thought was just very interesting. I hadn't heard this story before, but it's just crazy how they ended up finding out that she was their lost daughter by their second daughter going to school with her. Their selfie was retaken years after they had originally taken it, which I thought was also very, very cool. So it sounds like the girls are still close because they are her biological siblings, so, you know, and they did nothing wrong. But yeah, other than that, that's the gist of this case. If you guys want to read about it more, I have some case links in my description box down below that I had used to help research this story. But that is it for me now, so thank you guys for watching, and be sure to like this video and subscribe if you want to. No pressure if you don't, but I will see those of you who are coming back tomorrow for another true crime courier video. Bye guys. GoPro, stop recording. Do I like where mine? You know what? I think that's just what we're gonna go with. Nope, that's not what that should say.